Well, hey guys, well, what are we doing today? Well, what we're doing today is oil leak stoppage. That's what we're going to call it. Oil leak stoppage. You'll notice I've got the valve cover, the passenger side valve cover off this Plymouth. Here's the Plymouth. You've seen it several times. And what was going on was I was starting to lose some oil off the right side of the engine. You can kind of see, peek right back in there, these pipes have been on here about 300 miles now. If this will focus on that pipe, there it is. You see all that staining, that's how much oil has been dropping off the back of the engine. And the oil filter also, can't really focus on that I guess, but it's also pretty greasy and grungy, which it shouldn't be. So it definitely told me something was going on here. And first of all, the first thing I replaced, which it actually was, I had two different leaks. I had a leak from the oil pressure sending unit, which there it is right there, just threads right into the back of the block, just like a small block Chevrolet and some other Fords and things like that. So that was leaking. That was actually a leak. And then I replaced that, and I was still smelling oil. Like every time I'd climb a mountain or a hill, pretty steep hill, or started up first thing in the morning, I'd smell a little bit of oil burning. So I came out here and checked the valve cover bolts, and there's only 5 bolts on this one, but checked those out, and they were a little bit loose, so I snugged them up. I didn't cramp them down too tight, but I snugged them up, and that didn't stop it. So valve cover replacement gasket, valve cover gasket replacement time is here. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the valve cover. Let's take a peek inside of it. Sorry for the camera being fogged up, it was in the house. And it just looks normal for the age and miles that this car has on it. So I'm not going to clean that out. There's no real use in it. It's been there for probably 25 years. So. And I did see something. I noticed the valve seals are getting kind of worn out in this car. It smokes a little bit when it starts up first thing. You saw that on the video, and I think this right here is, again, I'm gonna have some focusing issues here, but you see those little chunks right there, those little plastic looking things. I think that's petrified rubber valve seals. And if you wonder what the valve seals are, it's not easy for me to show you on here for the head on the engine, but inside those springs right there, you see those tappets are, the valve stem comes up through the center of those springs there, and they've got a little, like a little rubber, just a little rubber, looks almost like an umbrella. They call some of them umbrella seals, but a little rubber thing that slides, kind of a interference fit down over the valve stem, and it slides down and kind of stays in there. And what the purpose of that is to get a good look over here. The purpose of that is to keep excess oil from just running down the valve stem, because you have a valve guide down in there which just keeps, like what it says, it keeps the valve guided, you know, oriented correctly so it doesn't wobble around. But those don't do much to stop oil traveling down the valve stem. So that's what those are for. And so they can be replaced, those valve stem seals, fairly easily. But I'm not going to do it right now. It's not using much oil, except when it started leaking. So more resonance. There they go. Yay, more resonance. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm also kind of working on that seat out of the back of that Reno. It's Reno time. Working on the back of that, the back seat. So what I'm trying to say, the back seat. Working on that, trying to get it cleaned up, and I don't know how well it's going to come out. Those kids did a job on it. They really worked it over. Crayons and all kinds of food. And I didn't show you guys the dried bananas, the rotten bananas and stuff that I got out of the back of that car. I spared you that one. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get going back on this again. And you know, y'all hear R Peak's videos, and R Peak actually, you know, he lives in Maine, but he's from Georgia, which is the neighboring state here. And so you hear him say that dang, I said dang again thing. Since I'm down here, I can probably say it and be as close to him as anybody can. So when you mess something up on a car, dang, I say, dang again. So anyway, see you guys. Have a good one.